Hi friends, this is Sarah from Crafting and Relaxing. Welcome. Thank you so very much for joining me. I have a lot of new subscribers lately, and I would just like to say thank you. I do appreciate you. Don't ever hesitate to ask me questions if I don't explain things fully. And I don't know which videos you saw, so you may or may not be up to speed on certain things. I don't think I did an updates video last week, so I definitely want to show you these cards and talk about the measurements, because I know there were questions on that. When I don't answer your comments, it's because I've left them unmarked so that it reminds me. So I wasn't ignoring you. This card is from Vicky, and isn't this just precious? Noni, are you looking at this? This is your color. And I love that this paper mixes pumpkins and flowers. It's not like a cutesy fall, but it's very fall. Just gorgeous. Thank you so much, Vicky. I really appreciate your card. Now, you guys know I don't need Happy Mail, but I do love to see your works of art. Okay, I've been getting questions about which journals are left. And as far as the normal ones that are single signature this size, these are the ones I have left. I have one that has butterflies and the Practically Perfect paper and some other combination stuff in it. And this one is Ready for Your Messes. If you like this one, but you're concerned about your skills, let me know and I'll put in a bunch of extra good stuff for you. That might be what's holding that one back. Then these two Christmas ones, at this point, they'd be pretty tricky to do as December dailies unless you kept notes and started late. One has Merry Christmas and the other one doesn't. You guys must not have loved this paper as much as I did. I just absolutely loved it. That's why I made two with it, which I never do. So there are videos of these if you have questions. I'm not going to flip through them. Neither one of the sewing journals have gone. I don't know if people who sew don't watch my channel. I'm not sure what it is, but I just love these little guys. There's videos on those too. And I can't remember if I showed this one before. This could be an add-on to a different journal just for $5. It won't work out postage-wise to ship it alone. And the flowers might be a little tricky, but it was just a fun junk journal that I made of different stuff that was sitting around and just all kinds of fun things. So if you're into junk journals, this is a little cutie. So that should answer the questions for some of you who had them. I shipped out a ton of journals in the last week or two. And thank you all so much for your support. I just really appreciate it. And, you know, I just don't like to list things on Etsy and take all the pictures and do that. So what I very often do is I have one item and we just recycle it. Please excuse my voice. I have a bit of a cough, so I'm scratchy too. Our friend Mary from Salem sent me this. Actually, she gave it to me, but it did get mailed and bounced around and back and forth, and she has the die for it, and I just loved it. So then I started playing with it, and there are a couple things that I would recommend that you do. Her stamp right here is narrower. Mine was bigger because I was playing with the same one. So you might want to look around at your stash and figure out something a little narrower. I don't have a lot of Christmas sentiment stamps. I don't know. I thinned them out years ago thinking I wouldn't use them, and then some days I think I need more, but I don't. I'm sure I don't. Noni gave me some more because she was cleaning out her room. For mine, I did not use a die. Mary used, I don't know what cardstock. I used 110 and it fought me a little. So if you have 100 or maybe 80, you might want to try it. This is a lot of bulk with 110. It will still mail. It's just, you can see it's a little crooked, and I don't really have any tips on how yours isn't going to be. So if it bothers you at the end, maybe just trim off the side or something. So here are my fancy measurements for you. I'm going to zoom in and then talk about it as we go. It does not matter where the cut line is. That just depends on how much space you have here and how much you have here. Had I moved mine over and used a narrower stamp like Mary, I would have had more room for my birds. Make sense? But because I was using such a big stamp, my birds were a little crowded. Now, what I would recommend is that you score first because that helps you mark. If you have one of these kind of cutters where you can fold the thing down and just start anywhere, I would recommend this. This is not a guillotine cutter kind of project because, how do I explain it? I did it wrong the first time because I tried that. The cut does not go the same depth on the front and the back of the card. So you can't take your card base, let me grab one here, fold it in half like this and cut down a certain amount because it folds in a different place on the back than it does in the front. She's fine. She's playing with her mouse. Don't worry. If you're new here, that's Miss Sadie, my tiny, elderly, very hospice, but she just keeps ticking cat. Okay, so what I would recommend, and I'll show you, we'll just do one together. I won't finish it all the way, but that way you can see it. I want to score it on this side. You could obviously do this the other way, but it would take some thought, and I don't think I have the ability to do that for you on the fly. And then get something to score with. So this is kind of a complex project if you don't have a scoreboard, okay? Now, right here, this is 0. This would be 0. And on the back side, I'll use a pen so you can see it too. If I have a pen, here we go. This is the back of your card, and this is the front. It should be kind of obvious, but just in case. Okay, so on the back of my card, I'm going to score 2 inches down from what we're calling 0, which is the fold line. And I don't know how far in to go, so I'm just going to stop. I just need a mark. Then here I'm going to go 1 1/4 from 0. So this isn't 0 here, right? So we have to do some math. 4 1/4, you're going to score at 5 1/2 because that's 1 1/4 inches. Okay, and then 2 1/4, so 6 1/2. It's just another inch. Okay, and again, I'm guessing how far out to go. I'm not going too far. And then my last one is 3 inches, or we know this section right here is 4 1/4, so it would be 1 1/4 up, but it's 0.75 further. So I'm going to go this way. Honestly, you're in the way. I can't see very well because you're in the way. Okay, there. So then we're going to score right there. So those are my marks. You can write those down and figure them all out. You can pause the screen, or take a picture of it, whatever you want to do, and then you'll have them. Now, I take this card with my score lines on it, and I put it in my cutter. That's why this kind of cutter works so great. If you are a quilter and you have the, I don't know what you call them, but like the little rolly knife and the mat, this would be perfect too, and you'd be good at that. If you're not and you have a ruler and an X-Acto knife, that'll work too. Okay, so I'm going to push down here, and then I'm going to slide this all the way. This one has a really nice mark right here, so I can figure it out to there. Okay, and then all the way to there. Okay, so now I have a cut. Now, I just arbitrarily did that, and if I hadn't been talking, I would have moved it over more, right? And I need to make some special where I move my logo down or take it off of there. Just don't use it. Now, I would just take my scoring tool. You could put it back on the scoreboard if you want to be all careful. That's great, but that's probably why mine turned out a little crooked. And then you're going to fold them. This back one goes down, then up, then down, then it folds closed. Now at this point, it's a little bit, what's the word? Clunky. Oh, okay. Something is off in the measurements I said, so we got to go back. One of those is weird. Nope, they look the same. Oh, it's this back one. Let's measure this. Two. 2 1/4. Okay, what I said was not right. I mean, what I said was right, 2 inches, but what I did was not right. So be sure you get it at 2 inches. So because that cut is too far down, it doesn't line up right, but watch. I'm going to do a crazy Sarah thing. I'm going to take this ruler and I'm going to move this up, and then I'm going to give us another fold line. There we go. So I moved it up about 1/4 of an inch. There we go. Now pretend it works. Okay, so then you would straighten it out. And what I did with mine, because it's 110, right? Mine's super thick, is I laid it down and then I kind of just mashed it all, obviously before you decorate it. And then I cut this off. And that's why maybe 110 isn't the way to go. And if you have a die, it's probably all much more square and nice. But I think for how often I would make these cards, that's probably fine. Okay? Now, what I would do, if you want to be more like Mary's, is she glued her things on from the back, you see? And she has her paper really nicely done up to the edges and an L-shaped paper here. On this one, I did pretty well. I put my papers and my branches in the right order. But on the tree one, you can see here, I should have put this paper on the front of the trees or cut a slit in it and tuck the trees down in it so that the trunks came up out of the forest, not just pasted on the front. Have fun, play with it, and I mean, it's paper. If you don't get it right the first time, that's okay. And you might want to experiment with, cardstock you don't love. So that's how you make those. And again, those are your measurements. Now remember, those are from 0 being the fold line. So you'll have to adjust depending on what kind of scoreboard you have and how it marks things. I'm going to have to take the coughing out of this video. Let's see. Crafty things that are going on. I made a Tidy With Me video online yet. It's not loaded, but I got it started. I spent about a half hour today looking for snowflake dies in my room. I found this one, which wasn't even the one I was looking for. So yes, I do have snowflake dies. I knew I did. I just couldn't find them. I am working on Smash That Small Pad. I'm sort of making a process video as I go, but I don't know. It depends on if I sit down in front of the TV or how it goes. If I make a process video, I need to stay in my room and I can't do as much in front of the TV. You know those sweatshirts that say, "Sorry, I'm late, I saw a dog"? I probably need one of those because that is going to be my excuse. I'm telling you right now, Beth and Kathy, if I'm late, that's going to be my excuse. Sorry, I'm late, I saw a dog. Those of you who are new here, I lost a dog and a cat in July, and we were a very pet-based household, and now we just have the one tiny cat, and she is my true love, but she sleeps a lot. I mean, she isn't on a good day when she's feeling good. She's not a lap cat. She's not really a snuggler. She's always been very independent. So she's not really on this earth to entertain me. She does take great care of me. She purrs. She's sweet to me. But she's just never been like, if you want to be an old lady and sit and watch Christmas movies all day and have the cat sit on your lap, if this cat sits on your lap, she's not feeling good. So, or she likes your heated blanket. That's what I figured out today. I did go and look at a couple dogs, wandered off yesterday. It's tricky to look at dogs because dogs that are in rescues, they want you to bring both members of your family. Mr. Crafting and Relaxing isn't always home. And plus, I might want to just sneak around and then tell him how it turns out later. That's tricky. But I am looking at older dogs or maybe dogs that other people wouldn't be as excited about. I'm not really interested in a puppy because I don't want to potty train. Hey, I know those of you that are doing it, more power to you. Also, other people will adopt puppies. They won't necessarily adopt older dogs. And Miss Sadie does not like cats and dogs. She has never liked any of them. And in her lifetime, we've had three dogs and another cat. And she she never played with any of them. She never gave any of them the time of day. She bloodied Wilson. That was the extent of their relationship, twice. So she would not do well with a puppy, and I do want to be respectful. I mean, she's aging, and I kind of wanted to let her age out. I have been very distracted by the dogs. Those of you who've been around for a while, and you can tell by the edge, you know what the gray board in place means. So I'm going to move the board, and I'm going to show you. If you're new here, you are in for a messy, shocking sight, let me tell you. This is what I have going on with Smash That Small pad. I've got it all taken apart. It's a really interesting pad to work with, so I'm going to die cut out of these scraps and not let any of those get away. I think I'll do stars and snowflakes out of there. Maybe while I watch some more TV. I don't think I have the crud, but I am a little tired and I'm dragging. It's like a normal wannabe ear infection thing that I get over the years, so I know how to deal with it, and, you know, you just sit down, which is good. I think everything happens for a reason, and I've spent a lot of time just sitting around with Miss Sadie this weekend, so maybe that's good. I hope that wasn't scary for you. I don't think I'm going to do another craft fair. It's on a day that something else came up in the community that I would rather do. You guys have cleared out a whole bunch of the journals. I'm just thinning out my stash happily and not worrying about craft fairs. So I think that works out okay. If you love doing craft fairs and it is great for you, do it and have fun. For me, it's a little hard, like physically, to pack all that stuff up and go and do it, which is probably another reason I shouldn't bring a dog home right away. I got a lot of stuff to clean up in my craft room to get this place back into a dog room, which means, especially, you know, and with an unknown dog, when you bring a dog home, you should like puppy proof the room, because you don't know if you're going to have separation anxiety. You don't know if they prefer paper, Pooh Bear, or fabric, Wilson. Yes, we all have our vices. We all have our vices. Those are things that I'm thinking about. The challenge for Smash Our Stash for December is free choice, and I have no plan. No idea. I don't know if I'm going to work the counter or if I'm going to work on some more blue. I also need to make some Hanukkah cards, so I don't know if I'm going to use some of this paper or if I'll do that on the next couple pads that I work on. This has a lot of matching sentiments with it that are really cute and match the paper. So if I run out of these and still have cards to make, then I might do some Hanukkah cards with it. Otherwise, probably I'll do those separate. So you heard her yelling a few minutes ago, and then she's done. That's it. Huh? Are you going night-night, Miss Sadie? Yeah. She says, I play and then I'm done. She is just the sweetest little thing. She doesn't like the camera because she's worried it's going to flash at her. You know, she's been around a long time and cameras used to flash a lot more. Thanks so much for joining us for updates. I'm going to stay focused, not be distracted by dogs. I've been looking online, I've been going places, talking to people, and get this done, because otherwise I'm going to be late for my collab. And then seriously, I'm going to need one of those sweatshirts. Then I really, really want to keep cleaning up. I've been trying to figure out, you know, how's the room going to go back together? What's it going to look like? And thinning things out. I almost went to thrift stores this weekend, but I was strong. And honestly, I think the cough helped, because if there's any chance I'm contagious, then I don't want to go talk to people. I've mostly been talking to dogs. All right, take care of yourselves, and I hope that you are healthy and going easy on yourself, getting ready for the holidays, and having lots of fun crafting and relaxing. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.